We hope as the night grows dark, the games get good. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a Faith Beyond message.
I cannot wait.
In there, but of course throws them off a little bit during the draft. You have it for the flex pick there. I'm not sure what they're going to do. Of course, we can run support Tides these days. We can run support Visages. So Faith Beyond just going on the old standard reliable, because they didn't really go for necessarily the best Tide counters, right? Which has of course been a big theme throughout the drafting as we've moved forward throughout TI.
Yeah, that's something that's kind of interesting, because in a lot of ways it feels like the damage that gets done in the biggest way by Tide is in sometimes that laning stage with the minus armor gush, just running people down. So instead opting to go back over to the other side there and opting to try and beat him out in that phase of the game instead. So Kingslayer and DM, because they sent the Earthshaker up top.
Yeah.
Kingslayer. Yeah,
of course, you're seeing in the tri view there, just like, but where's the Luna? But Ame, hello, he's making his way down in that bottom lane. Now we'll show up here, so nothing wrong with getting a little bit of extra gold and XP on a Visage, that's for sure. But Luna wants to get in there right about now, so gives the taunt, roars that ferocious roar, and gets Y out of the way.
Absolutely, and you're seeing right here, yeah, this is obviously part of the reason that you're taking this Visage and support role. Still does a ton of damage out there with the nukes, the soul assumptions, the grave chills. It's all good.
Yes, to use a Suns fan line of, you know, the old man, where am I? Visage, of course, renowned for its old strength in the tri-lanes as a support. Something that, you know, AUI here joining us as panelists used to do this quite a bit. And you're gaining all this damage for your soul assumption to put it back in the enemy supports. Won't save your courier, though.
Not even a little bit, and I think we'd be a little bit remiss if we weren't talking about already this mid lane here. 10-3 on the Kunkka versus the 4-1. Nothing to say, having a really good time here against GPK. You know, we watched a lot of the pubs in the lead up to TI as well, and these guys were battling out for that top spot in MMR, and GPK put on a really good performance, but, you know, it should be noted that this is a little bit of a rough one of the early goings, at least, getting doubled up.
Well, considering how we did just yesterday, you know, he also knows that things can be rough for an Ember, but they can also recover. So no panic quite yet. And some voice lines being thrown out here from Save. Save again on this bane, something that also was mentioned by the panelists, is a way that Virtus Pro play the hero that's pretty unique to them. Getting that earlier farm and hoping to get into that Aghanims at some point, with just how ridiculously strong it can be.
Can be incredibly impactful as the rundown again. You take a look at this Bristleback, hasn't really been able to get any free time for his Bane to run up there and get some ancient stacks yet. That's something that might happen a little bit later on, but that's something to watch for sure. Something that can accelerate that Bristles farm quite quickly once we get to the later stages.
Yeah, meanwhile, of course, we didn't even discuss ZingQ here on the big old Dawn Breaker. Popped out really fast in the draft, something that Virtus Pro was, you know, kind of dabbling with a little. People were questioning that being there, and so LGD come out with a little bit of a statement here to just grab it right away. And position 4 role has the Orb of Venom, has a stick, and you kind of see how it would mesh with the Tidehunter, much like those Weavers and Snapfires too, of just trying to be an offensive forward to follow up on the Gush.
A couple pulls going out, back and forth across those sides, back towards mid. Again, Ember catching up a little bit, but getting a good amount of pressure there with that Tidebringer cleave from Nothing to Say. And depending upon how it goes, we'll have to go back and maybe get the bounty rune. Up top lane, DM has also been getting a little bit of the better end of it by Faith Beyond, who's right now sitting 21-6 on this Tidehunter. A one-on-one-ish matchup, as both the supports are kind of bouncing around which ways.
Yeah, certainly an interesting one, right? You don't really see this all too often anymore, but it comes back to what you mentioned before in terms of like the Bristle being on that side of the map. When you're playing Dire, you sort of want to be near the Ancients, and you can control this area. You can contest the Luna a little bit. And, well, speaking of tri-lanes here, we have a very sneaky TP coming out here. Not spotted, I believe, by the Vision. XinQ trying to get a wraparound play through the trees. They don't want to scare him off quite yet on Nightfall.
Yeah, and I mean, save is nearby, but again, if you're able to get that jump, there's a potential you could try and find some extra pressure. Yeah. But Kingslayer also making the move down bottom.
Yes, he's back. Tri versus Tri-Lane Visage. The crowd goes wild. They love it.
Well, they might need to be able to do some extra damage there as Nightfall slowed down for the moment. Seeing if they can get a couple more hits the second round, but no! In fact, it's Juan who falls, and also in the mid lane. Don't look now. It ends up being a Nothing to Say solo kill on to GPK, and they're still looking for more. XinQ in some trouble as Kingslayer might have gone a bit too far there, gets punished by XinQ. Can they do anything else here? Save, right click, slow down. Nightfall trying to get XinQ in quite the net.
He's good.
Yeah, dodges away through the other side and has a salve going. Could maybe make another run at it.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, it's a bane, my man. You're in a little bit of trouble now. Team gets up with the Starbreaker, but they both end up falling. The last second, just mayhem down bottom.
Two teams starting to give them a feel for each other. There's a truce up top, of course, between Earthshaker and Ty. They're just hanging out, but that mid lane kill, now level 7 on Nothing to Say, while GPK still level 5. Got the punish on the getting 6 first, used the ulti for the kill. Ember unable to escape, and needs a friendly TP to the lane just to fill the bottle.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, and again, Ember matchup is, well, Nothing to Say. It's just going to walk in again, going for the right click down, but with save there, that should be enough to stop the pressure. But yeah, normally you can like go for either a remnant away with the X combo or what have you. Not the case when you don't get 6 in time. XinQ turned upon by GPK. Kingslayer there gets in range for a little bit of minus intelligence as well. A hot start on this cold night. Impressive.
Now you gotta start wondering, with Faith Beyond obviously getting off this great start on the Tidehunter, leading in the CS, moving towards this tower. What's the answer from Virtus Pro? Like, do you try and stop the side? Because he's just gonna keep going, and
yeah.
DM doesn't really have a lot to do. If you try and mess with them too much, you already see the rotation coming in from Y. You have an Ember, like GPK, he wants to try and get some punches when he can, but he's a little busy catching up. He's hitting neutrals right now. I feel like DM's just going to get sent to the wolves here. They are bringing everyone on LGD.
Yeah, DM, you're the sacrificial one here as they move in and finish them off.
They know that there's not a counter move here from Virtus Pro right now. Right, like XinQ's just sitting mid. He's gonna grab a little bit of creeps on the wave here. Maybe they can get this kill, but there is a ward that's spotting this move from safe, so I highly doubt XinQ goes down. Right, yeah, respecting the vision. Yeah, he's good.
Keeping it cool.
Yeah, he knows exactly where save is sitting. So, of course, the best case scenario for a Tidehunter player, take that top tower, TP bottom, and hold the wave.
I mean, I think that this is one of those situations too. Well, maybe they've been able to find him. I don't know if they can really do all that much. Both goes out first, and in fact, if VP aren't careful, they might end up losing another one themselves. Y moves himself through the river. GPK gonna throw the remnant back behind, but the rundown won't be enough to kill off that Ember there.
Yeah, X was coming back pretty soon there too, so.
Played it safe, he knew the limits.
He's got that timer, the internal clock that all Dota players have. Got to get that kill going, and well, with Ty taking the bottom lane, Ame freer to farm up here, moving in towards these neutrals. And you love the team playing nearby, so he's stealing some of this farm that was lying in wait for GPK.
It's an invis that spawns bottom as everybody was stacking around that top rune spot, maybe looking for an opening there. But as you can see, Another rotation up towards top to protect the Luna, but are they going to be able to get her out of there? The fissure block actually comes through. Obviously no 6 yet on save, and with that, they're not going to be able to connect for any type of a punish with these supports. They're kind of weird support duo, right? Like the Bane Silencer. It feels like they're both good individually, but just kind of cover each other.
Not standard like the Visage Dawnbreaker.
Exactly, now you're reading me.
Yeah, I gotcha. I see what you're up to.
GBK. You get a little aggro there in the jungle. Luna turned upon. They move in again. Save trying to get in range. Does have enough for one. Remnant's out and looking for more. Another sleight of fist. Does GPK have it?
Force X.
Graves can get it. Yeah, it's really good.
Keeping you up here. So 2-1-1 build event level 4 will keep him up. He'll be just fine. GBK still wants to hang around, see if he gets a little bit greedy coming back here, or will at least grab the next wave. Saying, you know, you got to respect my positioning here on the map, but unfortunately for him, LGD are just going to go grab some of the runes from him, sneak one right out from underneath that Bristle, who is heading towards a pretty healthy Ancient stack here. With the Vanguard, this is a free-to-farm situation.
You know, it's really interesting. Like, you're looking at the way that the map is laid out right now. They're wrapping around up on top a little bit on the Ame, seeing if they can go for the punish, but it's super interesting how aggressive Virtus.pro can play, and they're still down 1,000 gold with that lead remaining about constant.
And look at this TP from Nothing to Say, trying to get aggressive here and get a catch. TP's just from the bottom outpost, hoping to find someone in their area. They have this ward, but he knows that an X-play, pretty unlikely to work on GVK at this point. Sees there's a Remnant down. Gonna have to force something out from him to try and get the catch.
And I mean, you're talking about, again, that like weird combo that they've got. And like, there's nothing to punish GPK right now. This is a completely free Ember game once you get through that laning phase. And like, who's gonna try and control this guy? You got a Starbreaker or something out there? There's nothing.
Now, I know what happens to Ember players. See, they see this kind of game, they go, oh, there's no stuns. So they keep playing, and they keep pushing, and they go to that limit, and then suddenly there's, you know, a cleave you don't spot from a Tidebringer and a Soul Assumption, and you're dead. That's true.
We'll see if it ends up happening here. Obviously, a lot of nerves potential on the big stage. There is one really big stun if they want to use it, as Faith Beyond heads on in, but the Remnant away. That's going to keep him back.
That's the false sense of security, because your core can't be killed.
Exactly.
So you just follow him into battle, you know, and then he abandons you like that as a support. But trying to help get some kills for GPK, and sometimes that's going to cost save there on the aggressive Bane that he plays.
And obviously that extra space has opened up a little bit of room on the map for that Bristle to clear out those Ancient stacks that you were mentioning. But at least for now, seeing Virtus.pro be definitely the ones on the aggressive end of things, even if they're not necessarily leading into kills, they're sort of trying to control the pace of the game, it feels like.
Well, I think ever since they lost that top tower, they've really helped bounce things back out. GBK is playing like this, sort of that walling force you've heard about a few times on the panel today, where he's just saying like, you know, you guys stay over here and look what he's getting on the other side. His Bristle's farming, and more importantly, perhaps, his Earthshaker is farming, right? Yeah. DM wants to get in that Blink Dagger. Gonna be getting it just now. Treads, double Gauntlet, and Blink. DM going to be hitting pretty hard here, so expect the Blink, expect a smoke, and they'll have the Global Silence, of course, to cover them there too. So now the question will be, until there's a Dispel available for Faith Beyond, that this interaction between the Global Silence as well as the Kraken, right? You do not want to force that pop on Faith Beyond.
That can turn so deadly, and when you have any type of like sort of, you know, weird AoE damage that you sometimes get with the Ember, with the Bristle, whatever the case ends up being, things could start going south pretty quickly for you.
Yeah, got to be very careful with your Echoes and your Globals not to make a bad mistake there and free him from his shackles.
GPK again moves on in, gonna try and take away some of this triangle farm. Playing aggressive on the map, stealing a bounty rune away, and ZinQ, all he can do is look at him. You really don't have another option. Actually, if he's not careful, ZinQ's dropping down to about half HP.
He's got 9 armor though.
The birds are up.
Pretty tanky Dawnbreaker.
It's true.
Only at level 6, 1200.
Blink Dagger done.
And the smoke at the same time here from PSG LGD.
And DM gonna run in right away. They walk forward. Oh, the X is there. Goes for the Fissure. Not gonna connect on Nothing to Say. Nightmare save though from Save. Not bad at all. And actually gonna get both of the birds taken down by VP.
They used Global at the same time though, unfortunately. I don't think they had to. But, you know, double saves from the supports, and of course, you know, the one of the reasons why Virtus.pro can make this Bane look good on position 4 is that Save is so well timed with those Nightmares, right?
Oh yeah.
There must be something in the Virtus Pro org or something. I don't know who's got the cheat sheet, but Solo was the same way. You know, he always had the best Nightmare saves on the squad.
Stun comes out now. Nightfall turn in the back and now turning to burn a little bit if they can make it happen. At the very least, killing off that Helm of the Dominator creep. And going immediately into the Aghanim Scepter. So this was something that was incredibly popular for a while, and then like everybody lost their mind and hated seeing Bristleback all over the place, and then it got nerfed significantly, but still seeing some value for it in this game.
There was also Viper everywhere. We had like position 5 Vipers, Vipers being like first phase banned sometimes, which then would result in like a Bristle ban. Some regions played it like way heavier than others for sure, but definitely respected as a strong hero. And of course, one of the best things was that we had the X shard timing with the cheese back in the day, and that's what made it seem so strong. Now you're still gonna get that you're still gonna get that shard, and that means you're gonna have that hairball in that second Roche.
Something that can be absolutely devastating if done in the proper way. Let's see how it goes. For now, LGD still hanging out and gonna get gripped for the moment. ZQ in a little bit of trouble. Nothing to say. Moves in. Wants to save his party. In fact, the Home's gonna come out there. Goes for the kill. Out at the wrong timing. Oh my god, and that's a huge pickoff.
That is absolutely massive. The way that Maya doing an excellent job for sure, sailing along this network the way for some of these LG heroes, trying to widen the gap there, but when you go down, it's very costly, and they're going to punish really fast into this tower. That Arlen on the Kunkka, he's hitting her into this thing, and then Wyatt, of course, level 8 now. A very happy Visage player. Also 9.
Yeah, he has had a good one, and I mean, to be honest, both of the supports for LG have they're incredibly farm right now.
We're level 6 on the 2 supports for Virtus Pro right now.
Exactly. Well, off to a hot start. There's a reason LG is coming in as favorites and taking down this VP team at the early outset at the very least that's been looking so good. But this is the timing that Virtus Pro have been trying to play for at least a little bit. You got the Aghanim Scepter done for the Bristle, got the blink, smoke up, time to go.
So much pressure again here on another blink play from DM. Global stand ready. Their vision ahead of themselves though, absolutely nothing. Oh, here we go though.
Looking for an opening here.
Maybe they can draw a fight in here if they come to try and cover, nothing to say. No TPing quite yet.
There's a lot of heroes here. This is going to most likely be a dead nothing to say unless there's a lot of rotations that actually made it. Opportunity to turn around the Ravage to try and save the Arma Tuggles. Going to keep nothing to say alive for the moment. Still taking some of that slow, steady burn down damage. But Virtus Pro not able to connect for the kill. Now this is good. Can they go for any more afterwards? They're going to lose that Dawnbreaker. Still hanging out down bottom is Fabian. Keeping into this. They go in for the save. On to one and end up potentially losing another. They're not coming in for this one anymore. Oh my goodness. So much emphasis placed there on keeping nothing to save alive.
So, that was so much forward thinking of Virtus Pro. They're thinking in their heads about a stack of spells available in these engagements and what they have to do. I love the play of not popping the global. Right? Yeah. Tide comes in, you could have global there, then there's no Ravage. But he knew there's not even a follow-up. No one's going to die from this Ravage. It's only going to delay. Sure, we don't get the one kill, but we get another kill afterwards, and so much pressure on this tower. And it's going to go down just from the crease.
Well, just like that, Virtus Pro, they hit that timing.
And of course, again, they get to hold global. They get to hold their echo, right? Yeah. Because they didn't panic when that Ravage came out.
And you can see also now up to level 12 on the Earthshaker. So starting to get that level 2 ulti, some serious damage will be thrown out there by Virtus Pro if LGD offer a chance for a fight. Now, the panel talked a lot about these BKB targets. Got them pretty close here on the Luna. We're getting very close on the Kunkka. And then obviously Fabian going back for that Aghanim Scepter. So this is going to be most likely the window where LGD needs to delay for.
I'm seeing a theme in these later main stage games, huh? BKB, second item for pretty much everyone, all the core players.
It's the way to be. But for now, at least,
main stocks rising.
Virtus Pro.
Oh, is he in that ward down? I believe he is up top. They gotta actually see save. Not gonna matter though.
Yeah, perhaps it will. They go in maybe with the birds. DM getting slowed down here. Yeah, there's not really a play there. It's interesting, like, do you think that Virtus Pro need to just keep the energy and momentum going? Like, there's still this window where they're very strong.
It's a very hard read for them right now because they want to wait for the BKBs. They don't want to get caught by like some BKB fight from the Luna because they can tell that Almay's obviously farming very fast. Didn't have to rush the Agnes Scepter like Nightfall, so even though he's ahead in net worth, his BKBs of course going to be quite a bit, you know, significantly more delayed than that of the Luna. Fight's a little difficult.
A little bit off the mark there, and Nightfall in the meantime again clears through the wave. They're hanging out there mid and getting very close, like 1,000 or so gold away for the Nightfall BKB.
There are some issues though, right? I mean, obviously Virtus Pro have been watching the game. They know what's happening. They understand that BKBs are going to be coming out on the earlier end of these games. You have some decent options versus BKBs. You of course have the global silence that comes out after. That could of course hamper you during your BKB and the efforts that you want to put out there. And you also have that Echo Slam. And you know, sometimes it functions a lot like a sight, where it's this idea of just like, yeah, you BKB, but I might catch you first.
Save there, stalking around this area. It almost looked like he wanted to get caught. Maybe that, you know, sort of bluff of there's vision over here or something. But Nightmares goes for the walkaway, then Nightmares again.
I feel like he almost wants a Dawnbreaker play, right? Like Solar Guardian and just come out globally.
Oh, left down on the ground there, but the Dawnbreaker shows up on him. GPK trying to find a kill. The Ravage is there though. And the turnaround, the attempt, GPK moving in. The global afterwards, and now Remnants War, they've also got a fight on the other side. Nightfall trying to TP up to them, anything to control, yes they do. So while the fight's going on bottom, they managed to kill off the turnaround though. Looking for T1 in, but he gets punished hard.
Those are some good BKBs. That's what that was.
Wow.
That was painful. You see Echo Slam with a fight recap, and then you look at the damage, and you're just like, oh, I guess that wasn't a very good Echo there, guys.
Oh, man. That's, you know, just a little bit of discombobulation across the map there. Some teams zigging when they should have zagged. Now a 5,000 gold lead for LGD.
I like these small rotations to cover from LGD. It's not full 5 hero panic, right? It's just 2 heroes teaming down. Sure, you're using the Ravage, but it's enough that it forces out the global, and of course, you're still getting that kill in the mid lane. So yeah, certainly things going better for LGD at the moment. You're not able to capture a major objective off that. They're not grabbing that Roshan or anything. But all things pointing in a good direction for them for sure. I will say, at the very least, GPK, after being a pretty active and aggressive hero here, was able to catch up quite a bit on the net worth.
Yeah, and it's much needed. I mean, again, you're running on that side.
Way down. Yeah,
it was a tough one.
Of course, that might just be some of his allies also faltering a little bit here, and perhaps, like, you know, DM not getting as much time in the jungle, starting to roam around and still hunting for that elusive Echo Slam.
I mean, he had one earlier, to be fair. But yeah, it's a tough one right now. You see all these potential openings there, and LGD group together, but it's just not happening. LGD are delaying the game, trying to slow it down and consolidate this lead they've been building.
You can see Virtus Pro, I believe, starting to consider that next potential objective here for LGD. Should be going for the road. They want to D-ward around there, try and cover it, but it's hard to win the vision game versus a Visage.
Oh, it's a sneaky one. Love that ward there.
Oh, that's a real nice one.
And you can take a look here. You know, GPK, ever since that mid lane matchup has happened, he's just been on their side of the map. If you look down to the mid map there.
That's incredible.
Just absolutely playing on their side.
But feeling the fountain too.
Right. You're not wrong. But of course, this is sort of transitions now into him being a little bit behind and having to play a bit of catch up. TM, again, farming down bottom. That Celestial Hammer is going to come back to XinQ.
It's a very explosive game. You know, very chill in between, right? Kind of respecting each other, staying on their own sides, and then we get into the one big blow. Part of that also coming down to some of the larger cooldowns in this game when you're trying to play around your own Ravage. The enemy team is watching for the global silence.
Right, and this is why I feel like I really like the Virtus Pro's draft in some ways, because you can see the way that Ember's supposed to go in, find the bait of the abilities to be used on him, and then gets out afterwards. And it just hasn't worked out that way yet. So you can understand the idea idea, but in practice, it's looking a little bit rough.
Yeah, Fabiano just marching with Zag and after you spot a hero, you throw out the gush, and there is a BKB here for Nightfall.
Nightfall, he walks into all of them. The rest of Virtus Pro is pretty far away, but still hanging on that BKB. This could be it. They're not going to go for the fight.
Now he pops it.
Okay, and TP out. Manages to escape from that one, and now just going to walk right into the pit for LGD.
Yeah, didn't TP to the outpost or anything. Is running right back immediately. Salves up to head the Quicksilver angle, so he's running.
Taking down that Helm of the Dominator creep. And LGD maybe thinking they are able to get away with a free one there, but not to be the case.
And of course that ward, as you pointed out before, still sitting there, so they see some of these little rotations around the pit, and so they're going to go for the smoke wrap and another smoke.
Oh, this could be big if they could find him. Up on the high ground, Nightfall is on the low ground. Kingslayer's the one that gets jumped on first, potentially. Has a no global if he wants it. They're going to go for the pull down and the kill. Damn, but has buyback. So buyback global is an opportunity here. If they want to turn it, just to see it. Looking for the chase down. Do they have enough? They don't want to break that bracket show when the Ravage comes out. The echo. It's not doing nearly enough. Virtus Pro have to run away in fear as LGD just won't let him go. Chase down one by one by one. LGD are just too damn good.
Well, he's doing so good on the high ground there too. Like they kind of split the fight up into two with the Bristle down to the river, and he's waiting for his BKB. And now the BKB's even there from DM. I thought this was his chance, but the whole team not able to connect. I mean, still only on the Fiend's grip. Save couldn't really find the right moment. Punishing play here from LGD. And they got 5 minutes of freedom without Aegis.
I mean, sometimes you just fight as Luna in the pit with nobody nearby. There's a billion eclipse beams.
It's such a slow way the fight starts. Right? It's just an ag. You have so much time to react from this ag's gush, and they just kind of waddle at you. Fabian's just walking in up top. They try and punish onto Y. And TM just, I mean, he's looking at this, sees two heroes, but BKB timing on the Ravage was good. The Eclipse comes out, but the BKB's, again, by the time he gets on course, there's going to be either.
Wrap around there, finding themselves one blood. GBK able to get out at the last second. Save. Well done.
Save a word, that's good. Nice saves. That's the right he plays the bait.
Exactly. Yeah, 9,000 gold up right now for LGD with Aegis in hand on this Luna. We've seen so many times these Lunas just march down lanes and end them. But,
Constellation kill here. Oh, no.
That guy's pretty good. A little 4-step action.
No stuns on that pairing, unfortunately for them, so can't even find a kill for themselves as they're going to lose their tier 2 tower up top. No way they're going to contest this Aegis BKB Luna, who also has the Eclipse coming back. And I feel like LGD might just kind of want to run at them a little bit more here, you know? Why sit back?
It's true. I mean, they can force the issue now if they want. They can play it a little bit more safe, get that next tier of items. Like, that's the strength of this lineup right here. And in the meantime, you can just keep on making these moves as well. Not gonna say it's a lot of damage out from that Tidebringer.
Yeah, he's still deathless this game, too. Same with Ame. There's 3, 4, and 5. Just a couple of beaters.
Apparently.
As far as I can tell.
Okay, it's a strong showing so far from LGD. As the Sky is now going to be completed. And GPK trying to rally the troops with the chat wheel lines. This is what he's got to do. Put the team on his back. But will it work? And will he even be given an opening to make it work?
He's on possibly one of the most powerful heroes in the entire tournament, in the Atmosphere, I would say. He's got a ton of potential. He's gone for one of the more playmaking builds.
Oh, Nightfall. BKB, runaway, TP. And we'll get out of there.
At least they're probably going to have that for a while.
That's true.
BKB, TP. Very, very unlikely we're going to find an answer to that anytime soon.
But in the meantime, it certainly doesn't feel great to have to use it in that fashion. It makes those fights out there. There's a chance. An opportunity. Lots of CPs coming in, though. The boat's going to be there afterwards. GBK finds one kill, but it's going to come at the cost of save. He falls down. Meanwhile, wait, Luna left alone? Do they have a way to catch her? She still has BKB TP out. That'll keep on alive. So trade of 1 for 1. I think you're happy with that.
Okay, he's dead. Okay. Heading on home. And another 4-staff, I believe, just finished out here. So 4-staff for Y, 4-staff for Faith Beyond. These are just the coverage items, you know? And just in case the fight looks a little bit hairy, get the 4-staffs out of the wheel to get the repositioning there for Ahmed and draw you deeper into the engagement. Virtus Pro, at this point, when you're down 9K, you're kind of hoping for the quick hit and out. But that can be very difficult when you're a personal lineup.
That's really the problem. I mean, that's where the Ember really shines, and why I feel like if you can get GPK maybe a couple more items here, start to boost up that damage somewhat, you can find an opportunity to blow up those supports. Going in for the Shiva's Guard next. But
on.
Look now.
They shock him here. Nice.
They're going to feel the wanting to rally his team as well. But
GPK really wants to waste as much time as possible.
He has to run it out. Doesn't have a TP available.
On top, he's trying to capitalize on that chaos there by hopping on the Zenku. Zenku just right back out here. You know, no fear. Hold on to that tier 1.
Nothing to say. Tempting a little bit of fate there, but we'll back out afterwards.
How do you find a kill as Virtus Pro?
It's so difficult. The heroes are either tanky, or they got global help, or got BKBs. I mean, it's hard.
It's gotta be DM, right? DM's gotta find some place. You know, you never want to put a game on one person, but at this point, he has got to find something with his Earthshaker, and it can be tough. The Vision game is difficult for them. They're fighting into the Vision. They're fighting into a team who's very strong when it comes to wards. Of course, you see this really deep one. I mean, I don't remember when they were over here.
Yeah.
This thing's just down here. It spots all your couriers coming through. It spots when you're bringing smokes. The couriers tell the enemy team where you are, like this one flying right over. You know, maybe they don't have wards on other parts of the map, but they're going to see this little silencer courier and be like, oh, he's right over there. Oh, and they're actually going to see there's a gem on it now, too. So, a valuable bounty to be claimed.
If they can find the kills, and with seeing those couriers, LGD are going to make a smoke play now and head off towards the mid lane. Save is going to be there separate. The team actually blinking in. Do they run into each other here?
Okay, DM. He keeps getting the big item. He's ready for the reveal. The blink, it didn't work out. The BKB, not so hot either. But this time, the Shadow Blade. Maybe this is his time.
Does he have it? There's maybe an opportunity there. Oh, walking in, breaking the smoke. But no, he's already left. And Kingslayer going to fall. They've just not been able to, on Virtus Pro, hook together with all of their combo. Everybody's always off, having to push out those other side lanes.
And they're going for the sneaky play, but it's not so sneaky when you're under an alt and a sentry.
True.
GPK and Save down here.
I mean, this just looks
like... Save there, right? You know, until...
This
then it wears off.
He's been playing with, consistently, I feel like, on this team, so much art.
Snap TM also running through a ward here, too. They're just getting destroyed on the on.
Maybe an opportunity to find a kill. They jump in, they jump out. TM still in this. Run away now with save. The run down with nothing to save.
Considering the vision LGD had, you'll take that. Get yourself one kill, you're behind, you're trading, that's going to give you the advantage. Ember also grabbing the kill, so a little bit more gold into GPK's pockets to help towards the eventual BKB for this Ember Spirit.
All right. Has the Aghanim Scepter done with that Maelstrom as well. And I believe that's another item coming out on the courier, which should be the Shiva's Guard as well. So still very farmed, 11,000 gold lead. But every now and then, Virtus Pro, they're finding these pickoffs.
All right. He's gone for that instead. All right, GPK. I mean, that's the playmaking, right? You know, BKB's not going to win this game. That I can agree with for now. Just don't get hit.
There it is.
Yeah.
DM, an opportunity. Nearby, Echo to start, half HP. Down low, almost dead. Can they kill her? Yes. That's the quick combo that they needed with the global afterwards.
GPK.
They feel like they found the moment, and they might have, as the chase down continues. Why? Run it up to high ground, away from the ancients. They don't have nothing to say nearby at all. And why likely to die here as he hides off on the other side. Still 4 cuts out of it. And eventually, in the dirt, look at this. And this is right around the same time that Roach is capable of respawning.
Alright, DM, he's in the game. Here, Shaker has arrived. They needed that so bad. Not even just for like this game event, but I feel like that's gonna help his mentality so much. He's really struggled this game. Now hits the big play that can finally garner them some map control.
Just like that, you can see it's going to be a 2-minute road respawn. So definitely in favor of LGD with that one, as GPK will keep those lanes pushed out.
He wants this bird. Get a familiar 100 gold. Oh, that one feels good.
Very interesting, the way this game has worked out. You know, you've got on the one side LGD dodging fights constantly, wanting to put themselves in good positions. And on the other side, Virtus Pro going for the hunt and then buying the pickoff. Yeah.
My man, this Kunkka has a silver edge, and this Luna has a silver edge.
Yeah, I hear ya.
Okay, but, you know, doesn't work very well when you don't hit your spells.
True.
There's that. But, yeah, you know, if you're trying to play behind Nightfall, because eventually he's going to have to get, you know, very involved in these engagements, it can be a bit tough playing through that break.
It is true, and it's something that's going to be concerning. Also, these items no longer sort of a burden to have to take. You might sort of like being able to get them with the crit built in. It does only break for the 4 seconds, so they're going to have to find a kill in that duration. DM, again, the one that could break this smoke. GPK is there, the smoke breaks. DM still not visible.
There's a wide approach here from LG. They're so spread out.
Nightfall gonna walk into all. Now that's Silver Edge going. DM hides back behind, waiting for the opening. Afterwards, a ton of damage out, and the beat script to boom. GPK runs through them all. The Ravage is out, and now the Tarname. He's mad, he's in control. The rest is still throwing the flames. They're laying way too much damage. Vision one more time again. GPK, how are you living? You're not. Never mind, you're done. Just like that, LGD pull it back. It was looking so bad for us. And now the buyback. GPK runs back in, triple kill from now. Wants to find that kill on the Y, won't get it. The double buyback secures a couple more pickoffs, but just mayhem in the river.
Yeah, the river runs red with everyone's blood right now. And again, this is a situation where Virtus Pro, they're very far behind. So, yeah, it costs a couple buybacks. Sure, not great, but you're definitely, you know, at least feeling like you keep fighting in this game right now. Whereas it was a bit rough saying that. Man, I thought that it was going to look a little bit rougher here too. Because DM coming through, watching for this Echo Slam, right? This is the play again, gets in there before the BKBs are popped. Now, the main problem is Alme, of course, sitting there just slaying this entire time, throwing out this big damage, but they do focus the other cores down first, right? Take away that control from the Kunkka, try and get the Tide after the Ravage, and deal Alme in the end.
Just right there, you can see how close he was, but one last round there. The Soul Assumption doing so much damage, and then of course the buyback after he got the Remnant down. GPK knew that Soul Assumption was going to kill him and made sure to get out after.
This will do wonders for GPK's network too, of course. You know, you bought back, that part's a little bit painful. Came back, got a kill, and of course you're farming the entire map by yourself. He was the only core left standing.
Has the BKB done it? Really, it's the levels there as well. You can see now up to 26. Went for the 2 sleight of fist charges. So.
Wow, he is well ahead on the XP. The next highest, at least on the ending team, is 24 and a quarter.
This is going to be an interesting timing. How much can he get done with this advantage that he's been able to build up? Still, again, 10k gold into the lead there of LGD, but the Remnant in. They're hungry. They want to find these kills. As they walk forward wide, going to be controlled, bait beyond. BKB out from TM, though, goes in biz afterwards. Always hard, and done! The Tide Hunter, absolutely beautiful from TM, and now the grip on the Ahmed in one kill in time to the Are you kidding me? What in the hell was that? Ahmed lives, but the goes down one last hit. Oh my goodness, save, you did it to him.
At least he finds that in the end. There's some buybacks here all around. But that's gotta feel good for LG. Finally taking a decisive victory. It's been absolutely ridiculous. The Roach is up. Everyone knows there's a major contested point in this game. And somehow able to get Ame back standing, not finished off there by that grip.
My goodness, the rum buff, I mean everything, just keeping it alive there in the end. And the Solar Guardian, all for Ame.
I mean, and the Silver End as well, the Tide Hunter getting broken, the Kraken as well. It's a bit of a mess. Don't worry, in the main game we're all good here. They're just roaching by themselves. And the Y, of course, you know, kind of pulls them in. I don't think they're just gaining this. He runs it first, and afterwards, save the team, or else he's trying to break you're looking for, the finish with the Echo Slam, and then after the Stone Form, Nightfall can go back, get the finish, but there, again, getting the grab onto the Luna, and so low, 600, 100, 180 HP? Really? At save gets the big reach at the end there after the Nightmare for the kill.
That would have, I mean, if Ame lived there, that's it all. That's the game almost, it feels like. But as it stands, can feel the hype in the booth. Teams getting ready. Upper bracket is no place to mess around.
I'll tell you one benefit there for Virtus Pro is that Luna doesn't have the Aegis. They grab that, they put it onto nothing to seize Conquer. And say, you know, you actually want to hit buildings and go high ground. You'd probably rather have it on the Luna, especially with all these force staffs they have too, where they can really mess around with the initiations from Virtus Pro. Oh, I see Faithcon just found, was that a gem? No, might have run around somewhere. Okay, maybe I'm just crazy. I saw it on the fly.
But nonetheless, 27-17. And even though it's felt at various times like Virtus Pro are just on the verge of breaking it through, this network lead continues to go into the favor of LGD. Veteran squad giving it all out here. Double damage. Aghanim Scepter done for Bane though. We got the triple Fiend script.
Oh, been waiting on that for quite a while. Also a Assault Crest there too for the bristles, so just like gaining more and more power here for Nightfall.
Alrighty, 40 minutes into this game and can see LGD starting to feel a little bit more bold, crossing the river, putting the pressure now on this young BP team.
They can move very confidently right now with wide having the birds and having the gem. They can check for all this vision. And I don't see any offs with them right now. So they've got one up in a dire triangle.
I can see all of it Virtus Pro right now with the exception of GBK hanging out on that bottom side of the map. But nothing to say with the DD. Now worried out. He's going to go for a couple quick hits there onto that tier 3 tower and go for the slow, steady, safe siege.
Yeah, just throwing the birds at the tower there. Not too concerned. Looking towards a eventual site, maybe. High aspirations from a support player.
Thank you. Walks out, finds CM. The fissure is there. But seeing and sensing the danger coming their direction, the rest of BP are going to blink and TP out.
Jeez, that's gotta be tough. Please don't TP next to me. Like, is that really what you want? Seen that several times, but they'll be alright this time. They're just trying to delay the game. They're catching waves as far away from LGD as they can. They do not want to fight into this Aegis. They'd love to get a couple picks though. They're smoking to their base. They don't have the best vision. They have an idea. I don't know where the tide is at the very least. They just saw him a moment ago, and they're going to find themselves an invis room here too.
Now, that one's going to be picked up by Nightfall now. As, again, the move through the river. Dire scanning, hoping to find somebody in the triangle. They're a couple of seconds early. Ame, does he dare step up high ground or just reveal himself on these creeps? And Virtus Pro recognizing this, they're going to get some vision down now. Hold this area. And LGD, they're going to tempt fate and go up there as well. Doesn't look like it. I have a feeling that they recognize where Virtus Pro are right now, and now Nightfall shows, nothing to say, knows he's going to be farming this camp, walks in, slow down from the gush, has that Aegis, so nothing to say, just walks into oh, and the connection, that's going to be a big one on a Nightfall. There's the BKB, global silence used already, trying to turn, trying to go to this way, but me, going alone, he's going to get absolutely decimated. It's just going absolutely ham as they run them down one by one. Hex is out. A slow, steady burn as they find King Slayer and also gonna foul Nightfall. Another victory there for LGD. And now what a tremendous mountain they're gonna have to climb to pull this one back.
Space just picking up change on the sidewalk there, walking through TPing heroes with no BKBs as a Luna. One stun for you, one for the other. No chance of getting away. And Virtus Pro. Game one starting to slip here. You can only imagine LG are going to start going high ground. That Aegis bringing up fantastic 15 seconds left, but obviously, we don't really need it at the moment. Not looking like a big, strong force here to contest for Virtus Pro. They have the sense that, Virtus, they know that buyback's not back for 2 full minutes here. And this is a Luna, ladies and gentlemen. We might be looking at the end.
Oh, it's just like that. It's going to go so quickly. mentioned, no buybacks. LGD sensing a little bit of blood in the water, looking for an opening, and the Hex is there. They can't shoot it. She's gonna fall. Kingslayer also in trouble if they run him down. The grip is out, but is it enough? Nothing to say. Turns forward, tries to find GBK down to a quarter HP as they set their sights on taking down this Dawnbreaker first. But the real carry is in their face. The buyback comes out. LGD, they turn on a GBK, find that kill, focus down the ancient, another buyback, bring this time from Kunkka. But in the end, it is all too much as they turn in the ancient and go up 1-0 in the series.
LGD. The team to beat at TI, everyone knew it coming in, and as we continue through the group stage, through the main event, it continues to be true.
What a great game that one was in this best of 3 series, and again at moments, you can see as far as pro team, there were things that looked good, there were team fights that
entire globe. So I thought I'd ask a few interesting questions to try to get some conversations going. I'll get to that in just a moment because I got some responses I wasn't expecting. Actually, I'm not even sure we're allowed to share some of them, but we're going to try anyway, because why not? I've been seeing a lot of tweets from people who've been watching. Right. And then this last one, excuse me, Ravenshaw 520. You can see yourself out. I'm kidding, but like someone picked techies? No. We do not do that here. But maybe we will. We'll see. Okay. Now I want to get to the next part, which is the GIFs, or the GIFs, as some of you say. I said if you could describe TI-10 so far in a GIF, what would you show? So let's go through some of these. We're going to see if we can get them to work. Corrupt Drop Air, nice username. Harkened back to TI-9 and Cap's water bottle cast and said, this is me versus my family seeing me yell at the TV. As well, Nolan tweeted the Steve Carell nodding, tearing up. Actually, a lot of you used this GIF to describe it, especially after the match yesterday where we saw the brothers. Just the nodding and the single tear. And then Fall Emery tweeted, come on, bro, don't leave me hanging, with the high five, another homage to the brothers. Now, as I send it back to you guys, I have a very important thing I would like to bring up. Last time,
haven't been able to figure anything out yet. So if you know anything, let me know. Or let Casey know that you figured it out. I want to talk more about the game we just witnessed, though, because we're in the upper bracket semifinals, and PSG LGD is on their way to becoming guaranteed top 3 at this event. This is just a game of Dota 2, 2.2 million extra on the line on one series, and they did it with a Visage. Position 5, Curtis?
Yeah, big fan. I think in particular LGD, they've been running this combo in pubs, Visage Luna. It's extremely strong. It's basically like Visage Drow that the aura just gives your burst extra damage, but Luna also provides additional teamfight, which makes the combo even stronger.
Yeah, I think in this game, if you kind of flip that to how VP tried to approach that, it was the bristleback carry they have. They try and lane it into the Luna as well, which I really feel like trying to aggressively lane into Luna doesn't feel too great if they bring double supports, right? Maybe Bristle in a 2v2 could do some bullying, but as soon as you bring that third support in and you turn it into a kind of trying situation, Luna is kind of like, the queen of these scenarios, and I didn't really see VP kind of getting out laning phase with the lead they really wanted, and of course Ember dying solo to the mid Kunko.
Yeah, I mean, aggressively trying into Luna Visage tri-lane, very difficult at the end of the day. 2 of the strongest tri-laners out there. I also think Dawnbreaker is an extremely strong laner, so again, I think VP went in with an idea of we want to win the lane's tempo of this game, and the lanes didn't pan out for them, so they were on the back foot, but they did have some very good team fights from a position that was not easy.
I want to talk about those team fights because to be fair, before the game started, we said that, okay, VP, their best shot they have at taking down PSG LGD is set that tempo high and run over PSG LGD, which obviously didn't work in the lanes, right? But then they're behind T, but they're still able to take these team fights.
Yeah, I think it's a product of, DM and save that always play in the side lanes, just kind of being annoying, where if you are out of position, you're going to get slept into some of a hero coming to help kill. And like you remember, the biggest turnaround point was when Luna pushed up top by herself that one time, and then you have DM slamming, and then suddenly you got like 3 billion Ember remnants coming in as well to try and get the final bit of damage to kill off army. Like they did do the nice things well. It was just kind of PSG. They had the heroes, which are kind of very good against aggression, right? You have Dawn, you have Tide, you have Kunkka. Like these 3 heroes, even if they get picked off, you're gonna have to use so many resources to kill them. You're never really getting deeper into the map. So VP had some amazing pickoffs, but they just didn't have that extra little something to get into the game properly.
Now, we just saw the players walk back into the booth, so there's one thing they've been talking about in the break that they've had. It's how to, or for PSG is how to continue on winning, sure, but I want to talk about what VP needs to change and needs to address in game number 2, Curtis. What do they need to address in order to turn this around?
For me, I thought their scale just felt a bit weird in that game. I mean, VP, they're really good at running early aggression, but I feel like it's sort of hard to run over LGD. I think the only time that LGD showed a bit of weakness in this tournament was when they played that game 2 versus T1, and T1 picked a lot of skill, and LGD, in that game, they made some uncharacteristic moves. They tried to go on the enemy carry Dusa at their tier 2 mid. It was not successful. I think in this game, like VP, even though they got some things going, like Bane Silencer support, some Bristleback carry, there's no real skill coming from them, so it's like they're on the timer, they're pressured, and they have to outplay the enemy in order to win.
Just outplay the enemy in order to win. Isn't that what you always should do, though? The best team is surely the one that always outplays the other. Is Dota not that simple, LOA?
To a degree, though, these things make it easier or harder to do sometimes, right? I think Curtis's point is true in that T1 has had hero of VP honor, and she's living with 200 or 300 HP, and it's that close to maybe securing that teamfight winner snowball in the game, right? Maybe if this Dawnbreaker didn't have an assault cuirass, right? Maybe she goes down.
What was it again? There was a post for he had.
Yeah, was he post 4? Or, who was carrying this game? It's hard to tell.
AC low
Visage?
Oh, there's too much farm for sure. But yeah, like they mentioned as well, just the idea for VP, if you don't crush your lanes, at least have a way to play out like these fights. Because VP, they did play really well at punishing PSG. Like this wasn't the flawless games, like PSG running in the mid-river fight, they're kind of running into the river, then instantly dying. Like if VP had a better lineup, that's kind of the turn of the tide, right? That's when they kind of make their mark in the game. So VP was always in position to punish any mistake PSG made, right? It's just they don't have that extra that hero, right?
They also had something that helped the Bristle use his timing a bit better, like some kind of buff. I mean, historically we've seen Bristle IO or some like Bristle Omni like type lineup, right? Something that can let them go high ground or go on the Roche, but take the fight a bit easier. Might have helped them a bit as well.
Yeah,
might have helped them a little bit indeed. If I were to look at this lineup a week ago, I would have said, Curtis, that these 2 supports, the Dawnbreaker Visage support duo, how can you get away with that? That looks very greedy, and they also got the gold. Who was sacked for that? Was there anybody that gave up some of their gold to be able to allow ZQ and Y to get that?
Honestly, I'm thinking about it. I don't even know. I don't know where they got the gold. I feel like they just won fight.
They got it from VP?
Yeah, they got it from VP. That's the answer. I'm just checking now.
Alright.
All their GP
They
is
took
pretty
it from
healthy.
VP.
Yeah.
Let's see what they can take from VP this time around. They're gonna, of course, VP is gonna try to turn it around. Let's see if they can. Game 2.
Virtus Pro versus PSG LGD. Game 2.
All right, guys, we have game number 2 between these 2 titans. Do we think we're going to see anything different? Is it going to slow down, or are they going to keep going with these high-octane strats?
I think Virtus Pro will make the switch that they did in the game against Vici, where they lost the first game and now they need somehow to to win at least a game to keep them inside of this series. So I expect something a bit more early oriented, stay away from the bristleback. And yeah, we see Tiny. Tiny, Magnus is still in the pool, Io is still available if they want to buff him up.
Yeah, I totally agree with Eloy's point at the end there. That whole draft of VP is built where Ember, Bristle effectively have to just win the game by themselves, and the Bane, Silencer, Earthshaker, like they've got some control, but they don't actually add damage, and they don't add any durability to their cores. You can see, like, also I think the pace getting set with GBK dying mid, like, he balled out yesterday. You get solo kills any match, especially in this patch where you're just getting a quick bottle, grab those 2 4-minute runes, like that's a pretty big mental blow, I'd say, though he did seem to recover throughout the game.
So is it a situation where when you looked at that draft, it was just a little bit too flat, didn't have enough dimensions to it, just too very specifically looking at certain things that need to be achieved?
Yeah, that's a really cool way of putting it, because it felt like it was a much more layered lineup inside of PSG-LGD, and you think about the natural answers that their heroes could kit for. They even went the secondary Silver Edge on Ame, so you're basically just addressing the enemy win condition by both BKB and offensive Silver Edge. So, you get the Aghanim's timing on your Bristle, but it doesn't actually win the game for you, and I think if VP changed something up, they already have the Io Tiny, so that's a great start. I think it's the highest win rate combination in TI, but I've been wrong about
old
old
statistics.
statistics.
I can say, I completely agree.
With conviction, sir. He's looking at our panel, and they're just like, you're on your own, bro. We're not helping you on
Ellie gave me a
this.
thumbs up. Ellie gave me a shoulder shrug, and Tiga was like, nah, bro. So, who do you trust?
Okay, so
Not you is the answer to that question. Look on us, though. Do we like this? Are we saying, is this more dynamic already? Does it have more flexibility?
it is. I believe this is going to be a position 1 Tiny. You have Io, so there's no need to flex it. We saw throughout the group stage and the main stage what this combination of 2 heroes can do. Also, looking at the Wyvern plus Monkey King, that's a good way to set things up, and especially against Io, because you know he's going to be tethered up to Tiny, so Wyvern's ulti is going to always be very potent. And to go back to the Wyvern, you know, Tiny, after he uses his combo, he deals heavy physical damage. So this is where, you know, Winter Wyvern Seal is going to come into play. Kyle, you're making me laugh. All right, you go.
Oh, I just wanted to point out, you know, traditionally we think of Monkey King as a carry or a mid, and Wyvern as the support. But this is still a very open lineup. We saw 9 from Tundra popularize the Winter Wyvern middle. It looked very good, almost good enough to get here to TI, of course, beaten in the qualifiers by the TI 8 and 9 champions OG. It's very strong with the Aghanim's timing, though, against Tiny, because of the HP-based, max HP-based damage on your Q that will consistently be reapplied if you do get Aghanim's.
Agree, but that got nerfed, so I think they're going to stay away from it, play it as position 4 or 5. We're going to have to see if this is a position 1 Monkey. It's not something you like to play into, because, I mean, you're playing into Tiny, so there's always a possibility that you're going to be tossed out of your Wukong's command. Back to you, Kyle.
Sorry, Jenkins just walked on set.
Well, to piggyback off of that, I know that Kyle's getting a little distracted right now, but you know, you talk about how we have very flexible drafts. This is a very dynamic patch. The fact that there are so many different heroes that we can pick that can be placed into different positions. From discussing this with several of the guys, Monkey King position 1 just seems to be like the ultimate pick if you're able to get it. Very similar to like a Tiny, right? Tiny has some flexibility, but generally speaking, I feel that when we see the Monkey King this early, it's got to have either the ability to shift into becoming that support, or you know, obviously the position 1, but you can't be
Monkey King, whatever the role, is going to be able to provide a ton of vision from the trees, and it's a really cool combo with Wyvern. I think it was EG who famously always ran this Wyvern with Nyx Assassin. Monkey King is kind of the same concept, because you get a curse, and then you have a huge spell that follows up without being squandered, right? And then suddenly there's a Wukong's, a Boundless as it ends, and you have this massive teamfight advantage. That's a much earlier Necro that I'm used to seeing, but that is like a hard counter in theory to Tiny. Super high HP, super high armor, but the max HP damage on the Scythe, very effective.
Yeah, because Tiny and Io, they love to play like half HP, you know, there's going to be mech, Holy Locket coming out, the Necro has this ability to stop this type of a play. What I want to see from Virtus Pro is some kind of heavy magical damage. They have very limited amount of silence, so one of the spirits, I feel
Like a
Void Spirit,
perhaps?
even Queen of Pain, Storm Spirit is banned out in the first phase.
Oh yes, I have very bad vision. Apologies. But yes, any sort of a spirit would be potentially very good considering the lack of lockdown. Although we are getting
So this
Different
is,
kind of spirit for now.
right.
yeah, but this is very up tempo from Virtus Pro. But PSG, like, they already wanted long fights. Now they really want long fights. And in addition, if they were to swap the Necrophos into the Darkseer lane, that's like the dream view, because you just spam Q, get regen off creeps, and you're never really gonna get dove under tower. And I'm concerned because if you can't kill Necrophos, now they have even more save. This just ended Darkseer's laning phase. Like, you don't see this hero very often, but like Darkseer's kind of unplayable into Oracle. The Q spam, dispelling the shield, is a really tough matchup already for VP.
It really is, and the combination with Necro, you become magic immune and physical damage immune, so literally no one can touch you. This is going to be a position 1 Monkey King from what I see. They have 3 repositioning abilities.
Your turn to ban.
5 seconds remaining. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
The terrestrial sphere imbues my spirit. My spirit moves.
For battle.
Exactly so. Over there. I should stand right there. My way and way. Wait, an even better spot. Yes. I'm going. Yes.
30 seconds to battle.
Oh, that's a good spot. As must be. I'm going. All paths are one. Oh, that's a good spot. This beginning marks their end. My stones alight. Precisely. I set my stones. I should stand there. Wait, an even better spot. Covering ground. Ordered advance. Denied. A perfect position. That spot there. Denying. That spot there. Resign your lands. Oh, that's a good spot. That spot there. I should stand there. Covering ground. Oh, that's a good spot. Wait, an even better spot. Oh, that's a good spot.
First blood? What is this? I came here
I set my stones. Yes.
It's impossible.
That's better. A perfect position. Precisely. As must be. Yes. Ordered advance. My spirit moves. I'm going. My way and way. Here we go. Oh, that's a good spot. I am shaped to a higher over there. Set in stone. That spot there. Wait, an even better spot. I should stand right there. My stones alight. I'm going. It's to be so. As must be. Covering ground. Attack! All paths are one. Urn of Shadows. Exactly so. Your will is weak. That spot there.
Denied.
That spot there. Not yet. Oh, that's a good spot. Harsh rebuke. Wait, an even better spot. Perfect location. That's not for the likes of you. I should stand right there. Very nice. It's not done yet. Precisely. Oh, that's a good spot. I should stand there. Not yet. Wait, an even better spot. I'm going. I set my stones.
That should help.
My spirit moves. Ordered advance. Yes. A perfect position. I'm going. Yes. Over there. My stones alight. Oh, that's a good spot. Concede. By way and way. Here we go. I should stand right there. Over there. Set caught you. All paths are one. Wait, an even better spot. Set in stone. Exactly so. Very nice. A perfect position.
Under attack.
I'm not ready. I set my stones.
Your middle tower is under attack.
The great wheel turns again.
You know nothing unless the omniscience knows you.
Middle tower is under attack.
That was a fail boat.
The great wheel turns again. Ordered advance. That's a good spot. Wait, an even better spot.
Blown away.
I'm going. As must be.
Your bottom tower is
My
under
spirit
attack.
moves. My way and way. My stones alight.
Your top tower is under attack.
Coin of the realm. That's not there. What's up? I'm under attack. I should stand there. Precisely.
To the place of blindness with you.
Yes.
Welcome to the sea.
Yes. I'm going. That spot there. Covering ground. Oh, that's a good spot. A perfect position. My way perfect. Wait, an even better spot. Oh, that's a good set in stone. This way. Covering ground. Yes. Oh, that's a good spot. Oh, that's a good spot.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Perfect location.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Wait, an even better spot. Here. Over there.
Your middle tower is under attack.
I'm not ready. I should stand there.
Get your help.
My stones alight. As must be. What have we here? I should stand right there. I set my stones. Here we go.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
All paths help.
Oh, here now.
Exactly so. That spot there. My spirit moves. I'm going. I'm going. That spot there. Ordered advance. Precisely. Yes. Yes.
Haste.
Oh, that's a good spot.
I thank you.
All hats.
Your top tower is under
Covering
attack.
ground. You need stand there.
Your top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Your top tower is under attack.
It's not time yet. I'm not ready. Oh, that's
Your top tower is under attack.
That's not there.
Your top tower is under attack.
Glorious things.
Your top tower is under
I
attack.
set my stones. Ordered advance.
Your top tower has fallen.
A perfect
Radiant
position.
structures are fortified.
Over there.
The mad moon sings its mad song.
Wait, an even better spot. Wait, an even better spot. I'm going. Your goal commends me. Yes. My way and way. That spot there. Perfect location. That's a good spot.
Your top tower is under attack.
My stones alight.
Radiant
I should
structures are
stand right there.
fortified.
Exactly so. My spirit moves.
My eternal gratitude.
Set. My stones.
Your top tower is under attack.
Over there. Exactly so.
Tower has fallen. Your top tower is under attack.
My way and way.
Your top
Ordered
tower
advance.
is under attack.
I should stand right there. Oh, that's a good spot. The bounty are due. Here. It's not time yet. Oh, that's
Tower is under attack.
wait. Even better spot. Wait. An even better spot.
Haste.
I'm
Your
going.
top tower is under attack.
I'm going.
Your top tower is under attack. The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
All paths are one. Yes. That's not there. Yes. I set my stones. A perfect position. To you, my loyalty. I should stand there. Covering ground. be.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
That should help.
Over there. A perfect position. Yes. Reprisal. A lesson earned. Ordered advance. Yes. My way away.
Radiant's courier has been slain.
Wait, an even better spot. All paths are one. Oh, that's a good spot.
Stupendous!
I'm going. I'm going. My stones are light. I should stand right there. Exactly so. That's a good spot. Set. One time. That's not there. Set in stone.
Radiant structures are fortified.
That's not there.
The enemy's middle tower has been denied.
My spirit moves.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, that's a good spot.
Dire's courier has been slain. Your bottom tower is
Precisely.
under attack. Your bottom tower has fallen.
Covering ground.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Set in stone. I set my stone.
I'll see you.
Wait, an even better spot. Engage me. Attack! As must be. I should stand there. Precisely. Here we go.
Your top tower is under attack.
A perfect position. Over
Your
there.
middle tower has fallen. Your top tower is under attack.
Going. Yes. I set my stones. Away!
Deep six.
My spirit moves. All paths are one. My stones are light. I should stand right there. As must be. Wait, an even harmonious increase. Yes. Perfect. good spot. Oh, that's a good spot. Ordered advance.
As one walks towards the dark.
Exactly so. That spot there. Oh, that's a good spot. My way and way. I'm going. Wait, an even better spot. Covering ground set in stone. I should stand there.
Over here!
That spot there.
Where's the body? Oh, what I miss?
Oh, that's a good spot.
The devil will pay.
I should stand there. That's the timing.
I'm under attack.
This one walks to the story written in blood.
The end of the path is the beginning.
Your middle tower is under attack.
As must be.